We want to get you into the state of Mississippi once again, where we have a new tornado in that region. This is to the south of Highway 12 right here, where we're seeing that rotation. Here's the city of Sturgis. So it is past you already. It is just down towards the south and the east. So if you live in this area, you need to be in your safe place. Here's 25 and 12, so kind of sandwiched right within this area. So strong rotation being indicated on Doppler radar here. We want to time this out for you to let you know when it's going to be affecting your to be in your safe place if you live in this region. Craig Springs, it should be arriving at 6:12 p.m. Octok around 6:23, and then arriving around Chapel Hill School at 6:24 p.m. So it looks like we have a really good indication on radar that we're getting possible tornado in this region. As we take a look at correlation coefficient, we look for differences in the colors here, so we know all the precipitation, the solid red is just rain, but when we start to see some of this blue and these other colors beginning to pop up, that may be an indication that we're getting some debris that's being wafted into the atmosphere, so that the size of the particles that are in the air are different, and that is a concern within this region. So this looks like we may have a radar confirmed tornado at this time just to the south and east of Sturgis. This is in Mississippi, so this is all part of that main line that we've been watching over the last couple of hours. It has a history of producing these spin-ups. For the most part tonight, they've been relatively brief, but some of them have causing damage. So it's not unusual to see these strong to severe storms cycle through, and this is a concern ongoing here where we continue to have this warning. So the area that we're concerned about right in there, there you can see Jody Young Road as well as Silver Ridge Road, and also probably a little hail core out of this as well. Jen?
All right, we also want to follow what's happening on the snowy side of all this. So let's go up to St. Paul, Minnesota. You can't see much here. Visibility has really gotten reduced. The snow has started to fill in. I know we had some rain mixing in earlier. We finally went above freezing, right? But now it is snowing. So let's see what it looks like out there with meteorologist Mike Seidel. Mike.
Hey, Jen, yeah, if you were watching an hour ago, a completely different environment. The sun has set, the temperatures dropped down to freezing, and the temperatures, more importantly,
You are watching Stormwatch America's continuing coverage of severe weather. Please stand by. This is Stormwatch America. Please stand by. We have a new tornado warning now for Lauderdale and Limestone counties in Alabama until 6:45, and a new tornado warning for Otibia County in Mississippi until 7 o'clock. These are all central times. Here we are here in Mississippi, and here you can see some pretty good rotation here. Just to the east of, it looks like Sturgis or Ackerman, and it's moving off toward the east, and it will remain just to the south of Starkville. Again, we're here in Mississippi, and we'll be approaching Crawfordville and Artesia here within the next several minutes. Let's take the markers off of there and get some times. It'll be around Artesia and Crawford here at around 6:20 Central Time. So again, here's the circulation, and yeah, it's getting stronger. Here's the rotation right here. So it looks like we definitely have something right in here. Again, we're just to the east of Sturgis, Mississippi, and it's moving off toward the east very quickly, and again, it will stay just to the south of Starksville or Starkville. That's right up in the at the top of your screen there. So here's the circulation, possible tornado right here, and it's moving off toward the east. So if you're in this location, please take shelter now. Get into a basement or the center part of your house away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, evacuate and get into a shelter, a more substantial shelter immediately, such as a block or a brick building. Again, this is a tornado warning here in Mississippi, and this is going to be for Atibia County in Mississippi, and this is going to continue until 7 o'clock Central Time. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Craig Springs, or 12 miles southwest of Starkville, moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. This is radar indicated rotation. Move to a basement or interior sections of your home on the lowest floor. And again, here's the rotation right in here. We're just to the east of Stargis, and it's headed toward the east toward Artesia and Crawford, although not technically under the tornado warning there. You're just on the edge of it, but it's headed in that general direction. Off to the east again very quickly at about 45 miles per hour. So we're continuing with a tornado warning now for Lexington and Anderson and Lester, Alabama until 6:45. So let's go over and to that area of Alabama. We're having some issues with our computer. Apologize about that. We're also having a few data issues with RadarScope as well. That's on their end, and so we're having to use a little different older products to look at these circulations. Not the very latest technology, but still can see some sort of circulation here. And again, that's moving toward Crawford and Artesia, Mississippi, here in the next several minutes. So if you're in those locations, again, center part of your house away from windows or a basement if you have one.
Mississippi, and this was an area where we had a tornado warning. We watched the storm cell move through. There have been some reports of damage in this area. And again, look how ominous the sky looks. We have seen this type of sky race across Mississippi, now moving into Alabama, as these storms move moving very fast right through this area today. All right, let's look at the radar right now. We still have a couple of active warnings, in particular a couple of tornado warnings that I need to share with you. We've been following one cell, this one down here to the south, the tornado warning on it, and also up here into northern parts of Alabama. So let's zoom in first to the southernmost storm. This one we've been tracking on the ground for quite some time, actually, this whole storm cell. It's been changing character a bit as it goes. Right now it is under tornado warning, and this does include the county of Octobaha, where we have this little notch right in here indicating some inflow, some rotation into the storm. And then when we show you the velocity, where there's radar indicated rotation right in that same area, just to the east of Route 25. So giving you the specific area, but know that if you're anywhere within this warning, you need to be in shelter, here in your safe place, interior room, away from walls and windows of the outside. If you have a basement, that's of course the most safe place to be, but even if not, just, an inside bathroom, or inside closet, just putting yourself here away from the outside. Now, another thing we will look at is the correlation coefficient to show us, is there any dropout, is there any debris? Again, remember, I'm going to draw in 25 because that's the area we've been watching, and certainly the radar is showing us that there could be some indication of some debris in the area. Not clear, sometimes we look for the really, really blue pixels to see that, intense signature, but we've got a couple of things where we have the reflectivity, we have the velocity, and now we show some signs here on the correlation coefficient. So you just sort of verifying that, yes, indeed, a tornado warning needs to be in effect right here as it is. We're tracking it moving east, the whole storm cell moving east. At 6:26, we've got Otok, Austin School at 6:28, Sessoms at 6:29, Artesia at 6:33, Billups at 6:37. So still a very fast-moving storm moving off to the east here. Then another storm cell that we've been following quite a while for you up here to northern Alabama, just along the state line with Tennessee, Lauderdale and Limestone counties. You've been under a severe thunderstorm warning. You are now under a tornado warning. This does include Leicester and Lexington. And look how it's right at the northern edge here, pretty much almost in Tennessee is what we are watching for you, right on that northern edge of those Alabama counties. So we've been watching this area with the risk of damaging winds for a while, but now there's some indication of rotation. It's broad up in here, but nonetheless here, you certainly need to take this warning very seriously. Getting into your safe room, basement the best place to be, if not an interior room. Foggertown 6:25, Leicester 6:34, and Bethel 6:40 to time it out for you. Jackie.
I want to take a live look at what's been happening in northern Mississippi. This is a live view from Luca, Mississippi. Our Charles Peak, our storm tracker, has been in northern parts of the state through much of the day, and he saw some damage in the Walnut area, likely from a tornado, but yet to get official confirmation on that. And he's been traveling toward the east of there and trying to kind of catch up with that line of storms of where it's been.
Of course, now as you can see, the sun has set, it's dark out, so let's talk with Charles Peak. Charles, tell us about what you've been seeing along the way and what kind of weather are you dealing with?
Jen, right now we're in just a light rain here. I was going to try to catch that storm along your Tennessee border, but as you know, they're traveling so fast. If you're behind them, there's just no chance to catch up to them. So we're going to see what else pops up here to the southwest of me. But in Walnut earlier, we had quite a bit of damage, substantial damage to one building, brought down bricks and the roof off of part of it and sidewalls off of it, and trees down and power lines down in other parts of the town there.
Charles, were you tracking that storm on the way in, or did you ride after it moved through?
Well, no, I was actually on it to the west, and then the road network wouldn't allow me to stay with it, and so it got away from me, and I had to catch back up to it. So when they're moving this fast and you have as many trees and not straight roads, a little hard to stay with them.
Yeah, and for viewers who are just joining us, can you tell us a little more about the damage that you saw in Walnut? Because it looks significant with, bricks down on the ground.
Yeah, Jen, it looked, you had the second floor of this two-story building, and probably the walls were taken off, the roof was taken off there. Around the corner of it, a balcony and an awning was taken off. Talking to the owner of that facility, he said it was unoccupied at that time, so fortunately there was nobody injured, but it left just gaping holes there.
All right, Charles, thank you so much for that. We'll check back in with you here. Stay safe out there again now that it's gotten dark.
All right, we want to check back in with Chris Bruin, who is live in Nashville. It was pouring down on you just a few moments ago. Chris, what's the latest?
Yes, still raining, but not as heavy. We're almost done with the rain, but are we out of the woods? We're going to answer that question and much more, as there are a lot of people out heading to the Predators game and all the events that Nashville has on the weekend. Continuing live coverage on the Weather Channel continues next.
and welcome back to our special storm coverage. I'm meteorologist Ben Carfagno.
And I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. We're keeping a very close eye on the storms this evening across parts of the southeast.
All right, let's go first to Walnut, Mississippi. This is where there was a possible tornado. New video. Let's listen to this.
Wow. You can really hear the ferociousness of that storm as it moves through the area and the low-hanging clouds. There was damage in the town of Walnut, Mississippi, including some brick walls that have been down on buildings and some awnings, as well as some tree damage. And we're going to continue to track that situation. Charles Peak has been there as well and tracking storms off to the east of there. Right now, Jen has the latest on where the active weather is as we speak.
Yes, we've been watching thunderstorms through the evening here into Mississippi, also now moving into Alabama and Tennessee. We've got to get a broader view of this radar in Tennessee because, you know, we've been following Chris Bruin all night, and he got rain and really nothing in the way of lightning and thunder. And all of a sudden now we're starting to get some lightning and thunder pop here. There actually is a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped north of there into Kentucky. And this is why, in a situation like this, you really have to just keep a watch on the radar all the time. You know that these storm cells are going to evolve and they're going to change. And we know the ingredients are there with that potential for severe, which is why we've been watching this whole area all day long. But let's go down into the active warnings. Now we have a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning. The tornado warning for Octobaha in this is 7 o'clock local time. This area, this notch is what we've been watching. And by the way, this is south of the Starkville area. This particular area we've been watching over the last half hour or so with indications of rotation in this particular portion of the thunderstorm, both the reflectivity and the velocity, which I'm showing you right now, which shows you, is the rain or the hail or whatever's in the storm moving in different directions. And indeed, there is some rotation that is tight right across this area. So that's why the warning has been issued. You need to be in your shelter, in your safe place, away from outside windows, away from outside walls. That's the safest place to be. And we're going to track it outside of the warning to show you where the storm cell is tracking next. So Artesia, again, you're not under the warning, but this is coming your way, so pay attention to the weather here. 6:35, Bed Oak 6:42, Whitebury 6:51, and Columbus and Lowndes at 6:52 as it tracks to the east here. All right, so we're watching this particular cell. Let's jump up all the way. We're following this line all the way through Tennessee into southern Florida.